and they just concede, so... Yes, guys, that is right. You read that title right. Regis made day 2 at the Dortmund Regional Championships. I don't exactly know how, as you'll see in the gameplay. It was pretty rough, but the deck is still kind of fun, and it gives us hope that Regis might make a comeback. And you might be thinking, what the heck? What do you mean make a comeback? Regis was actually a good deck pre-rotation, the last format that we had, when we had Aurora Energy and a bunch of other really good special energies. But today we will be covering the Regis list that made day 2 at the Dortmund Regional Championships. So without further ado, let's go take a look at that list. Here we go, guys. Here's the list that Hendrik was able to take to a 126th place finish in Dortmund. If you've never played Regis before, like I said, the deck was really good pre-rotation when we had a lot of other special energies in the format. But this one it operates about the same, just not quite as consistent and good. We were also in a format that had like scoop up net, so things were very different. But people are just still trying to get Regis to work, and it is kind of doing that, I guess. But the overarching strategy here is to get as many of your energies into the discard pile as possible. And then once you get all 6 of the Regi homies out onto the board and in play, Regigigas has the Ancient Wisdom ability. Once during your turn, if all 6 of them are in play, you may attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So, super, super good. The other main strategy here is that a lot of the Regis will be hitting for weakness. Unfortunately, in this current format, a Grass Regi would be awesome to be hitting Charizard for weakness, but that just doesn't exist. So, we will be hitting like Chen Pao's for weakness with the Steel and a lot of other stuff. But anyway, here is the split. We've got 3 Regidrago in here, 2 with the Dragon's Horde ability that once per turn, if that Regidrago is in your active spot, you can draw until you have 4 cards in your hand. So that's pretty good. Then we've got the other Regidrago with the Dragon Energy that does 240 damage, but it does do 20 less damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. You're probably not going to take a lot of damage counters. These things are probably just going to get one hit KO'd most of the time. We've got 2 of the Terra Spark Regieleki in there. We've got 2 Regice, 2 Regirock, 2 Registeel, and 2 Regigigas, which is pretty common to have at least a 2. You want at least 2 of each Regi in the deck. So then we have our recycle options, like we've got Miriam in the deck, as well as 3 Super Rod. You'll find yourself kind of chasing the Regis to recycle them back in and kind of keep all 6 out, so you can keep using Ancient Wisdom to load it up. We've got 4 supporters, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Zinnia's Resolve. Zinnia's Resolve is really good for being able to discard the energy in your hand and then draw for as many Pokemon as your opponent has benched. So that's really cool. We've got 2 Iono, 2 Judge for some disruption. Speaking of disruption, we've got the 1 Avery, which is pretty darn good in this format. And then we just get to draw 3 more cards, which is also super good. Miriam, shuffling up to 5 Pokemon from your discard pile back into your deck, and then drawing 3 cards. Miriam, I love that this deck is giving Miriam some play, because I always thought Miriam was a really, really good card. There's just not a lot of decks that it meshes super well with right now. We've got the 1 Boss's Orders. Always good to have at least 1 boss, in my opinion. We've got our 3 Switch Cart. All of the Regis, it's worth noting, have a very heavy retreat cost. Makes sense. The Regis are pretty big Pokemon, so that checks out. And we've got 3 Ultra Ball, 3 Trekking Shoes. We want to dig through the deck as fast as we can, honestly. 3 Super Rod, 3 Earthen Vessel, since this one's running more basic energy, when previous builds of the Regi deck were running mostly special energy. We want a way to get those as much as possible. So Earthen Vessel, very handy. 2 Heavy Balls, prizing a Regi, not good. So Heavy Ball, very valuable resource to have. 2 Counter Catchers come in really handy. Again, a single prize deck. You're probably going to be behind on the prizes for the most part, so it's really nice to have that. We can pick out the Pokemon that we're going to hit for weakness and kind of go from there. We've got 3 Nest Ball. These are the same, just different arts apparently. I didn't notice that before. We've got the 1 TM Devo, which is actually huge. One of the games in this video, TM Devo made a huge, huge difference. So, very good. We've got 3 Artazon to help us get more Regis out into the field. And then our energy split, 2 Grass, 2 Luminous, Luminous being very good. particularly in this deck because Luminous typically doesn't work very well with other decks because it kind of just shuts off once other special energy are attached. But in this case, everything else is basic energy. So again, we've got 2 grass, 2 luminous, 2 fighting, 2 lightning, 1 fire, and 1 metal energy. Let's check out some gameplay with this pile of cards. Alright, so we do start a Drago. Unfortunately, not the one I would like to start, but that's okay. We got a heavy ball and a mulligan coming up here. Looks like we're probably playing against Chen Pao, which... Ooh, we got the Devolution too. Chen Pao can be tough. But I think Regi's worst enemy is the deck not setting up. So if we get set up, it can be pretty good. Because we could potentially, and this is asking a lot here, we could potentially get set up, take a knockout on the Chen Pao, and then eventually devolve later on if they end up using a couple rare candies. A lot of possibilities, but it kind of depends. You'll see they didn't go for a Shivery Chill there, which is interesting. All right, so we got Gigas. Let's go ahead. Heavy ball. See, we got 2 grass and the luminous in the prizes, which is rough. But that's okay. The luminous, actually, I think we might need. So that could be a problem. We will see. Let's Zinnias. We'll draw 4 cards. I guess here I'm not really comfortable with it, but yeah, we can toss a Super Rod. There's other recovery options in the deck, like Miriam. Yeah, that's not great. So I guess we might as well start getting as many of these homies out of the deck as we can. We do have quite a few Regis at our disposal. We know we did not prize any, but unfortunately we did prize a fair amount of energies. So I think here I can just go ahead and end the turn. Not great. We do have 1 energy in the discard. So I'm gonna go for the Ultra Ball. Probably gonna grab Beebrill or Baxcalibur. They must have the rare candy. They do. So that's one thing we could look forward to here in the coming turns. If we don't get set up, we might be able to just set up a Devolution to set them back a little bit, which is not really a place we want to be in. The Devolution comes in really handy. You have things like Regieleki that can spread damage, and that can come in handy with the Charizard matchup in particular, but we'll see what kind of cheesy maneuvers we could pull off with it here. I've played a couple of the Chen Pao matchups with this new Regis already, and it seems as if... Oh yeah, go ahead. Just use the 2 rare candies. That's awesome. The only time I can't seem to beat it is obviously when I can't get set up. So that sounds like a super obvious statement when I go ahead and say it, but it is that is how it be. So let's see here. So they do have, yeah, the 2 rare candies are down. Yeah, we'll see. So if we were able to pull off the Devolve, that'd be pretty good. They do need 3 energies here to go ahead and get the KO, so they will be expending all of their energies that I would presume that they're going to have. So they'll do their Hail Blade. And they are tossing all 3 from the Chen Pao, which is good. So top decking an energy there would have been like insane, but that's okay. I think if we're gonna go for the Devolution, we probably need to do it like now. Because I don't think we're going to have the energies we need anyway. So we'll go ahead and Iono. And we whiff the energy. Let's see if Trekking Shoes can get us there. I would absolutely love to have that energy. Thank you so much. That's crazy. And let's see, we did have one energy in the discard, so we've got that one there. We could bench the steel. I don't see any merit to Ultra Balling to get the other Regi, because we're just going to be accelerating the one energy and it doesn't really matter. What matters most here, I think, is just to get the Devolution, so we'll go ahead and do that. Put the Baxcaliburs back into their hand and force them to get the other two rare candies. It might not be that big of a setback, but it is kind of all we've got going on for us here. So, and they just concede, so not the greatest showing for the Regis, but maybe more of a showing for TM Devo. All right, so it looks like we're going first. Our opponent won the coin flip, which is no surprise. This is like take 9 of this deck, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Either I can't get it set up, or the last time I got it set up, PTCGL froze. So this has been really difficult to get this video to be a thing. But at this point, I'm not giving up on it. We're gonna find out just how modern Regis made day 2 of a regional, because I'm not seeing it. I'm not gonna lie. So this video might be a little bit different. It's not going to be the like proving why a deck is really good. It's going to be figuring out how the heck it did well. So we will see. We've got, so we'll have a way to get energy in the discard pile, which is actually sick, because we have not been getting there with that. Let's go Trekking Shoes. I mean, Iono's probably good later on. I don't really want to discard it. We obviously want to keep the rock. Keep the rock around. I don't really love giving them the Artazon either, being some sort of lost deck. But it is what it is. So we got the rock out. We've got 1 steel available to us, 1 Gigas, and 2 ice. So that could be tough. That's okay. Go ahead and toss that. Grab. I do kind of want to get the lightning one online here, so we'll see what happens first of all, but we'll attach here for turn, and then we will go ahead and just pass said turn. Yeah, this one's been tough to make. This is probably the most gameplay effort I've put into a gameplay video so far, because when Regis doesn't set up and your opponent just starts to get knockouts, it just gets harder and harder to keep up with the game. If you can be getting knockouts, and then your opponent's taking knockouts and you can keep recycling like your Regis and stuff, then obviously it can work out really well. But the problems I've been having so far with it are either I can't get all the Regis out in time, they're taking knockouts, and then I'm struggling to try to recycle the knocked out Regis and get the rest of them out. Or I've been really struggling to get energy into the discard pile. So this next turn, I'm hoping they bench a bunch of Pokemon so we can Zinnia's Resolve these 2 energy, draw a bunch of cards, and we're actually in a decent spot. Because yeah, this has been quite rough. I'm not going to lie. But again, yes, this is a different angle for a video. It's more so kind of celebrating the fact that Regis somehow got day 2 of a regional. It's kind of crazy to me. So we have Switch Cart. We can grab Artazon, thin another Regi out of the deck. let's see, let's get one of the harder ones to get right now. We've got Lucky, Rock, and Drago. So we could grab Gigas or Steel. And then we're only drawing 2 cards, which is not super great here. I could Iono them. They didn't do a whole lot, though, and we do need energy in the discard pile, so it's not the end of the world. We got another Drago and Switch Cart, which is not super great. But we do have that Iono for next turn, though, so I actually will Switch Cart into the Regirock in case they try to knock that out somehow. We have the other Regirock in our hand. I guess I could have kept the Regidrago there too. It doesn't matter really, but we'll see what they're able to come up with. It's already starting to feel bad if that is the case. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have faith. I have faith in this game. And then I went to play another game and I ended up kind of bodying a Goldango. And of course I wasn't recording that video, so we're going to see if we can pull off some sort of cheeky win here. And then the only other win that I got is the other one in the video where I was able to devolve the life out of a Chen Pao deck. But we're going strong. Again, this is the list that made day 2 of the Dortmund Regional Championships. I just spilled a bunch of energy all over the place. We're a wreck today, but that's okay. So they're going to Artazon. They Luminous signed for what I'm assuming was the Chorus. They're going to come up with Cramorant. Spit Innocently. So this is must be missing something here. I'm going to cross switch her up. Something. I think that's more so to get their Comfey out of the active, honestly. I don't think they really care what they're going to get. Yeah, so they can flower select. See, they've got 5, so they're going to go to 6. They got 2 Psychic Energy in the Lost Zone. That's kind of nuts. Now another Cramorant in there. They got 6. They're going to Beach Court to probably retreat into Cramorant and just come punch, I would assume. Yep. Looks like that is the case. They do have 6. I've almost beat a couple other Lost Zone decks today, but like I couldn't get set up before they were able to get their 10 in the Lost Zone. And then the Cramorant puts in a lot of work for being able to kind of just hit enough Regis. If they can hit, switch another one out, hit, switch another one out, then they're setting up a bunch of Sableye knockouts, and that's super frustrating. So we need Ice and Steel. We'll go ahead and grab Steel, because our likelihood of drawing into the Ice is much better. We do have the Fire. So our likelihood of probably... I want to heal the 30 off of the Gigas, but this is probably our most likely attacker here, so we're going to go for it. And we will Iono. We need an Ice. Your Regis. We got the Nest Ball, so that is perfect. We do get an attack going, which is great. Super great. I've been struggling for so long to get an attack off. This is probably still a turn later than we would want to be, but I'll take it. I will take anything at this point with this deck. So we got the Cramorant knockout. Not super, like, insane. They're at 6 in the Lost Zone, so they need to do some flower selecting, some Chorus, other shenanigans before they can, you know, take another knockout. Luckily, because I would assume if they get there, they're going to go after the Gigas. We have 2 super rods in our hand, so we'll see. We'll see what they pull off. I don't see them trying to, like... Well, I guess they could spam the Path of the Peak. It doesn't shut us down, but it does take away the Artazon, which can be painful, so... We'll see what they come up with. So the one good thing we've got going for us here too, Regieleki will knock out the Luminion, obviously, and Regis can slow down the Giratina, for sure. So we'll see. So they could come up and shred, which could be fine. We will see what their plan is here. They might not have a way to switch out. Oh, they have an escape rope. Okay. So that's actually sort of annoying to deal with. 0 Pokemon in the discard. So Regis was our other one that we had immediate access to. But I was really hoping to get... Actually, I still think that's fine. So I've got somewhat of a plan. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So they're gonna bring up the Regis. They're gonna Flower Select again. I was under the impression they're just gonna go straight for the Shred there. I'm not gonna say out loud what I was thinking of doing yet until I see exactly what they're doing. So it looks like they're gonna get their 8. Yeah, we'll see. They have 8 in the Lost Zone. So they're getting there, but... Yeah, the Shred from the Giratina is what can be definitely very scary, so... They're gonna Thornton into probably Cramorant? Oh, the fish, darn, that's actually, yeah. I was gonna go straight after that, with the Regieleki, so... That's unfortunate. But they've used quite a few switch options. So I might be able to just kind of... Well, let's see what we have. We don't have anything for energy in the discard pile, which is rough. We can draw 5 cards, though, which is pretty sweet. We'll go ahead and... I think toss the Judge in the energy. Draw 5 massive cards. Trekking Shoes. No. Research. Yikes. So, that's not awesome. The only other problem with this deck right now is finding your outs to retreating is extremely tough. So we will go ahead and just pass the turn there. That's fine. The only thing we've got going for us here is I know they've used a lot of their switches. The Thornton play there was sort of unfortunate. That was really sick. I can dig it, but it was not ideal, that's for sure. We'll see, they've really loaded up that Giratina there, which is fine. We're gonna go ahead and just promote this guy. So it's not over. It's definitely not over. We've got the other ice there. How many Pokemon? We only got 1 in the discard. I'm halfway tempted to just go ahead and bring up the Giratina right now. And just start punching it already. Because we should have access to all of the things we need. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and just punch it for 160. I think that's fine. We'll see what they're able to come up with. So even here, like, if they have to... Yeah, they're going to have to Lost Impact and Lost Zone 2 energies, which is really bad for them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we're not out of the woods yet. But let's see. We have the 2 lightning in there, so I'm actually going to bring up Regieleki. This has precisely 120 left on it. So what we can do is we should have, so there's 2 Pokemon in there now. We can probably use One Rod. There's Miriam in the deck as well, so I think that's fine. And what I'm going to do, actually, is we save the Nest Ball if we have Artazon at our disposal. Grab the 240 damage Drago. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But, right here, we're going to Ancient Wisdom the 2 Lightning and then whatever onto the Regieleki for that last colorless requirement. We will Terra Spark. We'll knock out the Giratina, and then we're going to put 40 on each of these guys, so that could be a double knockout. Or it could have been the Comfies too, honestly, but we'll go there. So the idea there is that we could take a 3 prize turn, potentially, with another Regieleki, and that is the plan. The only problem that we have, which we usually seem to have, is finding our way out of whatever Pokemon we promote. So, we will see. But, since they just benched the Giratina V, we'll see what they come up with. We shall see. Yeah, so they knock out the active, which makes sense. The only problem is we're tied on prizes, so it doesn't really matter what we promote here. Let's see. We've only got the Aleki there. Okay. That's fine. I was gonna say a switch out option would be really cool right about now. See, we've only got 1 Pokemon in there. We don't want to get super crazy with our options. We do still have the Rod. I think we're okay to just take the knockout here. I'm wondering if there's a world where we want to just actually let them kind of do their thing. Because then we could have Counter Catcher active, and then we can shoot more for that 3 prize turn. I'm going to try that. I'm actually going to try that and see what happens. This could be incorrect. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I'm trying to... Yeah, let's see. So... Yeah, we're down 2 Switch Cart, which could be tricky. The one thing I didn't fully consider is that, now that obviously they just lost mine the Regieleki. But we're going to see if we can work our way around that. But they could honestly go for either the Regieleki or the Regigigas here. So we'll see. We'll see what their call is. I definitely probably made a misplay. I probably should have just taken the knockout. But yeah, I probably put them in a very interesting spot here. Just spread some damage. They'll knock out the Regigigas, which checks out. So we will see. Okay, yeah, they're just spreading the damage. So, let's see. I think we should have a switch out. If that's the case, we are going to just draw as many cards as we possibly can this turn. Because I basically just need to get this Regidrago out of the active. Or if I draw an energy, then I can Ancient Wisdom onto the Drago, retreat it, and Regieleki Terra Spark for the win. So we'll see. They need to select their prize card, first of all. There we go. Had a lot of... Oh, sweet. That's actually amazing. So we go there, bench Regigigas. We can Ancient Wisdom 2 energy onto this guy to retreat it. And then we retreat into Regieleki. Again, this was not... I think it was a huge misplay. I probably should have just taken the knockout there, but at least here we can kind of do something a little cheesy to take our 3 prize turn. So we'll go ahead and Terra Spark, knock out the Stabilize. So the last turn I don't think was super optimal. I probably should have just attacked, but it ended up working out. I kind of wanted to pull off the triple knockout play here, so luckily it worked out. But I can't recommend playing exactly like that. But hopefully this is enough to look into the Regi deck. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's Regi video. That was probably the most I've ever struggled to get a deck to function for a video, I'm not going to lie. Again, this wasn't to prove that Regi's is like really good. I just wanted to show off the list that ended up making day 2 in Dortmund to give any hope to the Regi's enjoyers out there that the deck still can kind of function. But guys, if you like this video, be sure to head down there, hit that like button, leave a comment, leave your favorite emoji, whatever you're thinking, just leave me a comment. I read them all. So go ahead, do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're pushing toward 3,000 subscribers. If you're liking the gameplay videos, be sure to let me know some feedback on that. And then head over to twitch.tv/PokeDubz where I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But that's going to do it, guys. Until the next one, keep being awesome as always, and we will see you then. Peace.